Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are performance Jaguar specialists. Every single day we search for really good XKs and XKRs, and as time passes that search is becoming more difficult. But that of course only heightens the pleasure when we come across a car like this one. It is a fabulous 2012 XKR 5-litre supercharged Grand Tourer. It has only just clicked through 14,000 miles on the odometer. It has excellent service history. It is in immaculate condition, and it's presented in lunar grey over ivory leather and on the Nevis pattern 20-inch alloy wheels. It is a feast for the eyes and just the most exciting thing at the wheel. And I'm very excited indeed to show you around. There can be no doubt that the XKR is firmly established as a modern classic. First, because it's a Jaguar, and despite the trials and tribulations that that company has gone through, it is still a renowned manufacturer, designer, developer, and indeed, maybe more in the past than now, racer and winner of races with the most fabulous sports and grand touring cars. And the XKR, as its final ever internal combustion Grand Tourer, holds its head so high. The design, which, as I say, looks so stunningly brilliant, the curves and the way the lunar grey paint finish shows them off, the haunches there over the rear wheels. The design is beautiful, the execution is perfect, and in this colour palette, the appearance is just sensationally good too. And of course, any car design starts with the form, the shape, but then relies upon the detail. And here we have, of course, the badging, the Leaper badge there behind the tail light. We've got the XK and R badges. We've got the beautiful quad exhaust pipes, letting the 5-litre engine breathe out as efficiently as it needs to develop all of its horsepower. And by the way, I'll point out there that this XKR has the optional reversing camera fitted to it. Beautiful rear light clusters. And then we come to the wheels, Nevis pattern wheels, which wear, of course, the supercharged logo around the centre of the wheel, only available on the XKRs. And they are, by the way, wearing very nearly new Dunlop Sport Max tyres all around with tons and tons of tread, almost new tread. And then we come to the cockpit, and what a feast it is, with ivory leather for the seats and ebony leather with ivory contrast stitch around the rest of the cockpit, accompanied of course by the piano black veneer finisher. It is in exceptional condition everywhere that you look, having been clearly cherished and cared for in the most loving way that it's possible to do with the car, I guess. This has definitely been a weekend pleasure, a cherished plaything, not in any sense a utilitarian vehicle for its previous keepers. It's in stunning condition then on the outside, as we see, and next we'll take a detailed look in the cockpit. I've put the roof up and we'll now have a look inside the car. The first thing I'll say is we're supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack. But to unlock it, you don't need the key fob in your hand because keyless entry is a feature of the XKR. It senses the key is near it. And when you grasp and pull the door handle, it unlocks. The power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can look into this sumptuous, elegant cockpit space. Starting perhaps with the door card, which you can see is in ebony and ivory contrast leather with ivory contrast stitching too. It is in just the most superb order, I dare say, as it left the factory. You can see that we have the full 16-way memory seat option with adjustable lumbar support, side bolster support and front bolster. We've got the little badge there on the speaker enclosure that says Bowers and Wilkins, telling you that we have Bowers and Wilkins sound. And as we pan round, look at that tread plate. It is unmarked, simply unmarked, exactly as it left the factory. That is a sign of a dearly cherished vehicle. And then we pan around to see the beautiful seat here, the driver's seat. in ivory leather with the perforated centre sections there, which help with the seat cooling function, of course. And this is such a comfortable seat, and yet one which hugs you during those manoeuvres in the most impressive way. Okay, sitting down into the XKR cockpit, and the quality of the materials, I think, is one of the things that leaps out at you. Everything in here, the piano black veneer finish, the leather, the switchgear, the design is all just brilliantly good. Looking around in more detail, we'll take a look in the back seat area. Now, this is definitely a 2+2. It's not a 4-seater. Very little legroom. In fact, no legroom at all with the front seats in the fully rearward position. If you move the front seats forward, there is enough legroom there for a couple of passengers, but I would say for a short journey, not a long one. Looking in the centre console here, we've got the armrest, which slides backwards to reveal the cup holders there, and then lifts up to reveal this useful cubby hole with an iPod and USB connector for charging your USB devices, and also this little socket. If the car loses touch with the electronic key fob, it will ask you to put it into that socket there, which will reconnect the two. We'll put the armrest back down, and to explore the centre console, we can fire up the supercharged V8. So my finger on the start button, my foot on the brake, and you'll see the instrument binnacle light up. The engine starts. It's already warm, so it's gone straight to its lower idle setting. No need to warm up the catalytic converter in these conditions. And you can see that the beautiful backlighting there in blue and white is just such a visual spectacle. It really is a beautiful dashboard. Okay, back to the centre console. We've got the electronic parking brake with hill start assist. Dynamic mode switch. That puts the car into dynamic mode, which means that the steering map, engine ECU map, suspension and gearbox are all tightened up and made sharper for a more sporty driving experience. Forward of that, the rain, ice and snow switch, which does the opposite. That calms this car down very considerably for winter driving on slippery surfaces and makes it a much easier job to handle this powerful rear-wheel drive car with its wide tyres in those slippery conditions. Here we've got a button that turns the cruise control into an active speed limiter, very useful in the motorway on the roadworks. And then this is the traction control off button, which disables the traction control and makes the car really quite tail happy. It's great fun to turn the TC off and have some fun with the car in appropriate conditions, of course, on a nice wide racetrack on a track day when everyone knows what they're doing. Forward of that, we have the beautiful rotary gear selector, and at the moment we're in park, of course. We can go from park into reverse. That, by the way, triggers the reversing camera. Lovely crisp clear camera with guidelines which show you where the car is going, and also superimposed in the camera image a warning about the obstacle behind us. Back to the gear selector, and we can go neutral, then drive, and from drive we push down and rotate right into sports gearbox mode, and again that gives you a sportier drive. It holds the revs higher, makes power available more instantly while you're in sports gearbox mode. And so if you're going to drive sportily, I have dynamic driving mode and sports gearbox, and that takes this Grand Tourer and turns it into a very fabulous sports car. Forward of there, a little touch of history. We've got, of course, the smokers section, the cigar lighter and ashtray, and above that the climate controls, so the auto button there, the passenger and driver temperature selectors, dual zone climate. We've got the front electric heating and rear electric heating for the windows, and then the front demist. And above that, the slot for the CD player and its buttons, and the source button for the infotainment, and the on-off and volume control as well. Then we come to the infotainment screen itself. You can see we're on the home screen here at the moment, which conveniently has the seat temperature, heating and cooling, and the heated steering wheel buttons on. So in the winter I get into an XKR and straight away I just have the heated seat and heated steering wheel on, and I'll be toasty warm in no time at all. Down the left hand side here we've got a series of options then. If I turn the audio back on, you'll see that we're listening to DAB radio at the moment. Radio 4 has come up there, which is what I was listening to last time I was driving this car. And under the audio button then we can see we've got AM and FM radio, DAB radio, the CD player and portable audio, so you can plug your iPod in, or you can get an adapter that will adapt your modern mobile phone to work with this infotainment system. There's also the option to have an aftermarket CarPlay system fitted. We can chat to you about that, and if you'd like this car with CarPlay and Android, we can make that happen too. Okay, back to the home screen, and the next button down is the climate control. That takes you again to the seat and steering wheel heating controls and seat cooling, and also the button for the air conditioning, and this is where you can direct the temperature around the cockpit and synchronize the two temperatures as well. Back to the home screen again, and we've got of course Bluetooth telephony, crisp and clear, easy to use. There's a button on the steering wheel to start and end calls. Then we come to the navigation screen, and here we'll just acknowledge the warning there, and that takes us to this nice clear display. It's easy to put your destination in, it's easy to understand the instructions it's giving, and so forth. Back to the home screen, and finally we've got the vehicle button there, which takes you into pages and pages of settings, trip computer, clock, contrast and brightness, system settings and vehicle settings. Lots of sub-menus here to set the car up as you desire it to be. Okay, back to the home screen again, and we can come over to the steering wheel. Beautiful leather steering wheel. It's warming up very nicely there with the steering wheel heating on. On the left thumb cluster there we've got the audio infotainment controls and the Bluetooth telephony button. On the right thumb cluster, cruise control with the cancel and resume buttons and the increase, decrease and set thumb wheel there. And then on the left hand stalk we've got the automatic headlamps. On the right hand stalk, the rain sensitive wipers. And if I carefully move the camera down here, I hope you can see just by my right knee here, we've got the instrument binnacle dimmer, rear fog light, boot release and the petrol cap release as well. And it will take you, if you buy an XKR, a few goes to the petrol station to remember to release the petrol cap and not be standing next to the car stabbing at the petrol cap cover in order to try to put the petrol in. Okay, finally we'll come up here to the control for the convertible roof. Now ordinarily on an XKR, this is a button that you have to press and hold, but this car has a very good aftermarket modification which makes it a one-touch system. So one touch there on the roof open button, and the roof unlatches, the windows go down, and the roof folds itself neatly together while the stowage area cover comes up out of the way. It then goes down into the stowage area, that cover moves back into position, and we're ready very swiftly for our top-down motoring. It is a very quick system to use. Another function of the modification of this car is that normally in the XKR we can only have the front windows up while the roof is in the retracted position, but with this system we can also have the rear quarter lights up as well, and that reduces the air buffeting in the cockpit quite considerably, makes it even more comfortable while you're driving with the roof down. Although of course for the full effect, have all the windows down and just the wind blasting through the cockpit. It's the most joyous thing to be driving at speed with the roof down in a car like this. And to close the roof system, we just press the button there, a single tap, the stowage cover moves out of the way, the roof unfolds and will come round and latch itself. And by the way, this will continue to do this even if we're now switching off the car and getting out of it and walking away. It really is a very good system. It saves you time. Ordinarily you'd be sitting in the car waiting for the roof to close before you could turn it off, but with this modification you can simply press the close button, switch the engine off, walk away, lock the car, and it all happens for you. Okay, finally I will just say again, the quality of everything in this cockpit is so high. The materials are of the very finest kind, and the way this car has been cared for means that the cockpit is unblemished. I mean, it is just in the most joyously brilliant condition wherever you look. Real testament to the previous keepers of this car and the care that they have taken of it. Okay, we'll switch the engine off and take a look next in the boot. Being a Grand Tourer, you would expect the XKR boot to be a reasonable size, and indeed it is. We can lift the boot lid there and see a pretty decent space, and this is with the divider in place. That's the device which enables you, as the little diagrams there explain, to have the roof folded down. If we move the divider out of the way, we've got really a very large space, and it extends out behind the rear wheel arch there on the near side, and under the cover here as well we've got a substantial void, plenty of room there for bags, or indeed you could take the cover out and just have a very large boot if you're going touring perhaps. That, by the way, is where a spare wheel would be. This car instead has the puncture repair kit, which you find on all modern cars. And another touch that I'd like to point out, by the way, is this beautiful series of rails with the rubber inserts. That's the kind of quality touch that you will only find nowadays on something like a Bentley. You can see again in here, everything is in perfect order, no nasty marks, no stains, no unpleasant odours as well, I can inform you. Coming round to the passenger side of the car, and again we'll see the door card is perfect. Likewise, the tread plate, absolutely unblemished. And the dashboard, carpet and mat, and this beautiful seat in the ivory leather, all in perfect order. And by the way, there, embossed into the headrest, you can see the R logo, a little touch that Jaguar has always provided on these cars. Okay, the final stop on our tour of this beautiful Grand Tourer is there, underneath the bonnet. So under the bonnet we find the engine cover with the beautiful Jaguar logo and the supercharged badge as well. And under the cover is the supercharger, and under that is the V8 power plant. 5 litres capacity, producing 510 PS, 504 horsepower. And through the 6-speed ZF gearbox, that drives this Grand Tourer from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds, and on to a top speed, artificially limited, at 155 miles per hour. And those are genuinely enormously impressive numbers. But this isn't a drag racing car, this is a grand touring car. This is a car in which you appreciate the luxury, I dare say even opulence of the cockpit, the incredibly smooth nature of the drive, the effortless way it eats miles, the instantly available power and acceleration, and all of those things add up to such a heady experience at the wheel or in the passenger seat. And again, under the bonnet here, I hope you can see everything is in perfect order, crisp, clean, nothing out of place. The service history is excellent. Huge amount of documentation with this car going right back to the original sales invoice. If it matters to you, and it shouldn't, this is a 2-owner car. Please watch our video entitled The Myth of Too Many Keepers, if you've ever been hung up on the number of keepers a car has. Regardless of how many keepers, we look at the quality, and this one is simply superb. It's flown through our inspections, and it really is in the most magically good order and waiting to thrill its next keeper. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It has been such a pleasure to show you this beautiful XKR. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to see it in person or by video call. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to the Google Drive. That's our online folder with higher resolution photographs which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we will give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thanks again. Feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details are coming next.